Hey guys, it's Jim Bowles with Motorhome Rehab Ranch and Co-op Motorworks on, we're on Patreon, you know that thing. So here's a window. This is a late model window. This is a galley window or a door window fixed, right? You know that it's a late model window because the rubber's coming out. It's got rubber on the outside of it. I don't want to pull this out, it might fall out, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk today about this. Now, if you're going to, I want you to follow what I'm doing exactly. First thing is, don't ever take out your windows. Okay, here, put that in an appropriate place. No, your windows, your window frames, sealing the window is all done in place. If I'm doing a complete paint job, I'm leaving the windows in place. Okay? Don't do that. Early windows are set in place, then you have to realign them. And these windows are not a whole lot better. All right. The one most important thing on this, it's human nature when somebody shows you how to do something, you want to figure out how to do it better. The immediate first response is you go through your brain and think of all the things that might make this better, right? That's how we do it. I'm going to ask you to stay on the yellow brick road, okay? Now, when I show you how to do this, after you do this, then you can come up with your own ideas all the time. But the first time, I want you to listen to what I'm saying and do it this way, and then you can screw it up on your own. Work? Okay. So, this is the window that we're going to do right now. I'm going to do it. And you always start with the large window. Reason is, we're going to be bagging this window, taping it off and things. And if you had to bag every window, it would be very expensive, a lot of paper. We can use the same paper because this is the biggest window. These are the biggest bags. Bedroom window is the next biggest window. You cut the bag down a little. Then when you do the galley window, you cut the bag down even further. And so you're using the paper one time. You could do all 6 windows because you got 2 big windows, 2 bedroom windows, 2 galley windows on a GM floor plan. If you got a Royale, you know, you're different. Okay, you're wonderful. But you want to think about what it takes you, the materials to do it, and how much time that takes. And I swear to you, follow the yellow brick road. Follow this yellow brick road and you'll find when you're done, that was the quickest way to do what? We're going to put in new window rubbers. That's right. We're going to refinish these black window frames to make them look new. We're going to seal the window frame to the body because that's where the leaks are. It's not in the rubbers. It's between the frame and the body. Then we're going to protect this rubber so it doesn't shrink down like this anymore. I bet you yours is too. Yeah, it's like it's coming loose in the corner. We're going to protect the rubber. Not that it will never do that again because ultraviolet's getting worse, right? But it will guard from it. So we're going to do that. All in one step. At the shop, we charge an hour and a half per window to do all the steps I show you. And we're going to do this window, and about halfway through this window, we're going to start prepping that window. You know, the bedroom window. And then when we're finished with this one, then we move all the bags to that window, then we start prepping this window. You see what I'm saying? You go through a process. You do one, you start the next one, you move everything here, you start the next one, boom, 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 boom. 6 windows, you're done. Time all together, all right? That's what I want you to follow. Stay on track. Stay on target, Blue Leader. All right, so first thing, we're going to talk about the tools and the materials you're going to need to do this. The materials I'm going to show you is our care package. Everything you need in materials is in the package. I'll show you that, show you the tools, and then we're going to get to work and I'm going to show you how to do it. All right? So come on with me. Okay, guys, tools. What are we going to need? Always have a BFH. Need a big hammer. Gun, a razor blade, razor knife, sharp. The scariest tool is a dull razor blade. Straight slot screwdriver, pop rivet gun with an 1/8 inch set fitting. This is wax and grease remover. In PPG brand, it's a DX330. Most any automotive paint stores will have it. It's automotive grease remover. Okay, automotive wax and grease remover. And it's a wax on, wax off. You put it on, you wipe it off. It breaks everything off, you wipe it off. We got to have clean frame, clean body when we start. You may want to have some kind of a light sandpaper, or we're going to use this material. Screw gun with a 1/8 inch drill bit. All right, these don't need an air gun. I'd have some paper towels because I'm pretty daggum messy too. Okay, so these are the tools that I'm going to need to do it. That's it. All right, now come on over here. In our care package, we're going to have first 38 feet of small rubber. Okay, we're going to have 38 feet of large rubber. Now, you say 38 feet, you're going to have some left over if you have a GM floor plan. You're going to have some left over if you have a Royale, but it'll be different pieces. Okay, 38 feet of small rubber, large rubber, and then you're going to have 14 feet of this vertical felt. This goes in the vertical emollient bar in all the side windows. It has a plastic runner inside, and the fuzz, the fur, holds them up, holds it up. This is the gasket right here. Okay, this slides into extrusion in the back of that vertical bar. So you need 14 feet of this. All right. Now, also in materials, you need green tape. I would tell you this is the finest tape on the planet for masking tape. It won't pull off nasty paint, and it gives you a nice paint line. We give you four rolls of that. This is the second best tape in the world, orange tape. If you want to tape something that has a very delicate surface, like we're going to use it because we are going to just paint the surface with this trim black. Going to have about 2 to 3 hours to dry, and then we're going to put tape on it. This tape can be put on there and it won't pull that fresh paint off. So we give you 4 rolls of that. Okay. Black RTV. Yes, this is silicone, but it's an industrial and construction RTV silicone. Where have you heard RTV before? Water pumps. You glue water pumps on and things on an engine, valve covers and what have you, because RTV silicone has adhesion qualities and seal qualities. 100% silicone that you buy in Home Depot or whatever, that has seal quality, but you can rub it off with your finger. That has no adhesion qualities. So this black RTV is what we're going to have that will adhere the fixed glass to the frame, and we're also going to use this to seal between the frame and the body. I'll give you 4 tubes of that. This is what's called trim black paint. We use a brand name Worth. There's a lot of different ones. They call them trim black. This is a satin black paint. It's a lacquer based paint because trim paint. It's made to etch into aluminum and grab it. You know, like if your car has black trim on it, and they're going to repaint the car, they hit it with this trim black paint. The stuff will stick to anything. It's great stuff. If you prep it right, it'll stick. It has a satin black finish, and here's the trick. When you shoot it on the frame, the rubber will already be in there. It shoots on the rubber. It acts as a UV barrier to help the rubber from shrinking from the sun, and you can't see it. It turns in and looks just like this. Wonderful stuff. Like Henry Ford said, black's great color. Okay, that's what's in the kit. That's it. All right. So, well, you're also going to need to pick up some little 1/8" short rivets like this. I like one a little shorter, but this will do. 1/8" rivet. Okay, I'll show you what that does. All right. All right. So these are the tools and the materials that we're going to use to do this entire coach. We have this in a box, a care package. I can send it to you. You got to get your own tools. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Now, I said the first thing we're going to do is we're going to clean. All right. So follow me as we go. Scarlett's going to do some fancy video stuff, and you can stop and start it, and whenever you have to have lunch or whatever. So now this video is going to answer the questions. We did 2 other videos, and they were funny, good, and all this, but they created questions. And so over the last 3 years, I'm hoping to answer all those questions. You can look at all those other videos as, I don't know, fun, but I want you to follow me on this, okay? Here we go, strap in. All right. Step 1, you got to clean it. Wax or grease remover, spray bottle. We want to clean 2 or 3 inches of the body, and we want to clean this frame. Wax on. This breaks it loose. Wax off. Okay, step 2. Green tape around the window about 1/8 inch away. This is going to be the end finish for the silicone, the RTV that's going to go in here. So you just take the tape, come above where the line's going to be, come down to it so you don't see the tape line. Again, about 1/8 inch away. Okay, now we get to the corner. It's pretty hard to take 1/2 inch tape and bend it around a corner. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the tape and we're going to cut it in half. And take this and literally cut the tape in half. A piece up top. Now, a 1/4 inch piece of tape will bend real nice around the corner. All right. Now, bring it on down again, 1/8 inch away. Cut the tape in half for the corners. Make the corner with the tape. Now, if you try to do it in little pieces, when you finish your sealant, it'll look terrible. It just won't look good. You need to have a nice, smooth line. And that's what this will do for you. All right. Okay, guys, step 3. Step 3 is the fun part. This is where you get to destroy stuff. Okay, all that silicone that people have put in there over the years to make up where the rubber had shrunk. You take all that stuff out. All right. You dig out the window rubber. Take a screwdriver, you dig it out, and you rip it out by the roots. Then we take our hammer. I was going to use a screwdriver, but that's not pretty. Vertical bar. Take it off. Now, I'm going to show you in the vertical bar that this window is this is a coach that is a 76. This vertical bar was not pinned in. Over the years, if you look at your coach and you'll see this fixed window migrates. It's because Hare didn't realize that this, if it wasn't fixed here and here, the whole window in this thing would migrate. So if you have a gap here, Bob's your uncle. In here is that vertical felt I showed you. See the gasket. Here's your gasket. The felt, the fuzzy stuff doesn't really do much. The gasket's that thing in the middle. Here's our new piece. All this does slides right in. Boom. Turn it off. We'll put this to the side for later. Now, very important tool, the trash can. Grab the window and slowly start pulling on it. If you're in the sun, it'll go faster. But even here, just pulling it slowly. And it's out. If you want to know how to get in your motorhome, boom, there you are. All right. So what we have now is a bunch of gup and pucky, butyl tape, all around this frame. We also have gup and pucky on this window. You can see here. All right. So what we're going to do now is take a paint scraper. We're going to use a screwdriver, but if we can get a paint scraper, guys, paint scraper. We forgot something, paint scraper. But what we're going to do is we're going to dig out all this gup and pucky. Again, a flat paint scraper works best. I'm using a flat blade screwdriver. But it doesn't have to be perfect. But you've got to get to a flat surface. You got to get this stuff out. As you're digging through, you find these little plastic spacers. This was for Bubba and Scooter at the UAW to figure out where the window's supposed to go. I think we know where it goes right next to that little frame edge piece right there. Yeah, thank you. We were almost prepared. So you take the paint scraper and just scrape all that gup and pucky off. We're going to go all the way around this window frame. Taking all this stuff off. So bear with me, here we go. Doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be flat. Okay. Frame's clean enough. Now we're going to move to the window. Okay, now we want to clean the glass a little bit, get the little bit of residue off. Use the wax and grease remover again. It's not going to be perfect. We just want to get it clean, reasonably flat. All right, so now we're ready. Ready to put this window in. We're going to use black RTV. Now, a trick to put this black to RTV, there was a question, what happens if you get too much and the stuff ends up everywhere? Good question. Good question. Okay, when you cut your tip and you put it in the gun, end is very important. You want to cut it at about a 30-degree angle. Then you want to go to the edge of it and you want to cut, I'll show you this. I'm going to cut a V in the bottom of it, just like that. Can you see it? What that's going to do is it's going to allow the sealant, you're going to put this flush against the frame, it's going to allow the sealant to come out in that little bead right there. All right guys, with the edge cut, now we're going to lay a bead all the way around where the fixed window is going to be. Okay, as we were cleaning it up, taking the guppy pucky out, we had these little spacers. These are the UAW bub and scooter spacers to tell them where the window goes. Well, we don't need something this big because these spacers make it more difficult to put the rubber in. So we're going to cut this spacer down about that big. Little ones. Don't need to be big, just little ones. You put it right there and right there for the window to sit in place and not shift down while we're putting the rubber in. Go get your small window rubber out. Your clean piece of glass, and you set it on your little spacers. Right on those spacers, and move the window over to right there. As you see, spacers, the glass is sitting on this spacer. Spacer is holding the glass up, and I'm holding the glass in place. So I'm going to ask somebody to hold this window so it doesn't slide down, and just hold pressure on it like this while take the rubber. I call it a grabber. There's an inside rubber piece that goes behind a little groove. Wet it a little bit. Get it started in the groove. Now that it's started in the groove, you can put a little bit of, and just push it in. You can wiggle it, you got to turn it like this. See how you turn it and you push it in. There you go. Now, if it looks like that, it went in. It looks like this, it did not. Watch. See it? That's in. So you go all the way around. A secret maybe is a little bit of spit. It's amazing what saliva does. You can do all kinds of things. Okay, so the fixed window's in. Now if you remember, we put a small spacer here and a small spacer here. Reason small because it makes it harder to put the rubber in with the spacer because it's just sticking out. We just need little small ones. We're better than UAW. We don't need spacers on the side. We don't need no stinking spacers or on the top. As long as the bottom's in place, we can see what's happening here. We can put it in, we can shift it and move it where it needs to be. So we only need these two small spacers. Makes it easier to put the rubber in. Next thing, our vertical mulliot bar has our new vertical felt. My beautiful custom vertical felt. Okay, this, you prop it where it needs to be. This behind here, get it behind here, put it in place. Okay, so that beds that. If it needs to push anymore, it does. Now, we were talking about before that this vertical bar and this glass slid back. On the 77, they figured that out. And they put a little number 3 screw, Phillips head screw, right here and right there. Well, what we're going to do, drill through the frame right there. Into the first one, into that vertical bar. Going to take an 1/8 inch pop rivet. We're going to pin that booger. Pin it down here, and we'll pin it up there. That fixed window is bedded, the rubber's put in, vertical bar is located. Right? Next part we're going to do is we're going to put in the large rubber. And the number one trick on this, that's why you're paying me all the money, open the window. It only took me a couple of years to figure that out. Get the window out of the way, now the rubber goes in just like this rubber. It's larger. It's called a scraper because as this goes back and forth, this rubber puts pressure on here and has the water go out. This is called a scraper. This is a fixed rubber. Okay? So now we want to put the scraper in. You open the window. It has that little inner piece right there. Right? That little piece right there has to go under a groove inside this track. All right, guys, how your thumbs feeling? All right, if you're following along, the worst part's over. Guys are over here learning how to do this at the same time. Worst part's over. Rubber's in. All right, now next thing we want to do is we want to refinish the frames. A lot over the years, these things get scratched up and nasty looking and what have you. We want this thing to look good. So we are going to refinish the frames. Now at the same time, we're going to use satin trim black paint. It's a self-etching paint as we talked before. Now, this paint is going to do two things. One, it's going to etch to the aluminum and get a trim blanket. Second thing, it's going to coat the black rubber trim to keep the UV from out of it so it won't shrink quite as much. Okay? So, now we can't just take a can and spray it. We have to bag off the windows. All right? When I say bag, here's what I'm talking about. Stay right there. Hold that machine there. Yeah. All right. I know it looks like a piece of paper, but this is a bag. What we're going to do remember the green tape we put down there? It goes right on the green tape. Just like that. Now another piece of it. Right? You see what we're doing here, right? I'm gonna peel another one. We're gonna go up and we're gonna go around. All right? So here we go. All right, you catch the drift. Now, get each corner, bag off the corners. Put these on together because you'll take them off and use them on the next window. Make sense? One. This window is bagged. Now, look at your frame. What kind of condition is it in? Is it clean? You can take a Scotch-Brite and just rough it up. To give a good bite surface for the tape, for the paint. If you've got silicone on this or anything else, you're going to need to get it off. So it took me 3 minutes. Could be an hour. Depends on what you want. All right. Now, this paint, remember when you did car models and you had flat black spray paint? It was real thin and you shoot it and it runs all over the car? This is very thin paint. So what you want to do, you want to shake it 100 times to get it thick. And while you're shooting it, you want to shoot a little bit, shake it again. Shoot some more, shake it again. You want to put on thin coats, because if you put a thick coat on, what's it going to do? Right, it's going to run. Okay? It's a lacquer-based paint. It's an etching paint. So as it dries, each layer dries, you want to do 3 or 4 layers. Each one of them will grab into the aluminum. All right, now, let's call that 100. Okay, I shook it before, I promise. All right, here we are. Turn off the fan. I'm going to die. Turn the fan off. We don't want the black paint going everywhere. So what we want to do, I don't care about the window, because when we finish, we'll take one of those new razor blades, soak the window up, scrape the window, wash it off, and then it'll all be clean. So we don't need to bag off the glass. Okay? So, nice light coat. You see we're getting it on the rubber, on the glass, and on the frame. That's enough there. Just go around it and coats. You never get it to the top. Shoot down at the top. Again, you want to get it on the rubber, on the paint, nice and even. All right, now, we're going to let that dry. While that's drying, remember we have 5 other windows in this motorhome. So what we want to do is we want to go to the next biggest window. We want to go to the bedroom window back there, and we want to pull the glass off, pull the rubber off, do all the things that we did to this one while this one's drying. Okay, so we're working that window down there. This one's drying. Now, we've got that window finished. Okay, got all the windows in, it's all finished. 100 times. Go over this one more time, just to be sure you got it all. Now, while that's curing, we want to take our bags off. First thing we want to take off this triangular piece, the corner. Take it down to the bedroom. Take this one off. Take it down to the bedroom, because we'll reuse it too. Same thing here. And of course, what do you think I'm going to say? The same thing here, right? Because this tape's expensive. I'm going to save it. I'm going to use it on the next one. All right, now, take your paper off. Take it. Put it down on that window. This one off. Put it on the window. You're saving the paper for the next job. Now we have this. We're going to let this dry just a little bit more, okay? And we're going to put orange tape on the freshly painted frame, and then I'll show you what next to do. So hang on one second and I'll be right back. Okay, see what we have here. Pulled the paint, sprayed it, pulled the bags, now the orange tape. Remember that piece of orange tape we put on first? That edge right there will end up being our finished edge on one side. Now the other side, the orange tape, release tape. Freshly painted, so you don't want to push down on it real hard. And bring it all the way around. And again, how much are you going to leave? About 1/8 of an inch. You're right. Okay, one piece. Why one piece? So when we go to pull it off, it'll come off in one piece. Now, remember our black RTV? Between the green and the orange tape, we're going to put a bead of black RTV. So we got the tape, seal it on, immediately pull it off. Because as the RTV skins up, it will leave a nice edge. All right, a little cleanup, a couple little spots. It's easy. This window has been new rubbers. It's been painted. The rubber has been protected. New vertical felt. Frame's painted, and the frame is sealed to the body. All done. Now when we get all 6 windows done, we'll wash the coach. Take a really good single edge razor blade, scrape the window, get all the whatever's left on it off, wash it, have water and soap on the window when you scrape it, and you're done. That's it. If you do part, you got to do it all. All right, so this is late model side windows. There's also the front windows. We'll talk about the front windows when we do the early model side windows, because actually the same manufacturer that made the early side windows made the all of the driver passenger windows. So we'll talk about those then. All right, guys. So there you go. That's how to do it. If you have questions, let me know. What we're hoping to do, if you could follow this and do this job, then we've done our job. And these are the kinds of videos that we want to start making for you for specific jobs. Like if you're going to do your brake work. We're going to do a job, we're going to do a project where we'll have all the parts, all the tools, how we send them to you in a package, and then how to do it, step by step. If that's helpful to you, what we'd like to do is to have you contribute maybe $10 or something like that to one of those videos, and then you would have access to it. You can do your job as professionally as possible and have a quality job. So let us know what you think about that. I think they call it per pay videos, something like that, where we're actually giving you step-by-step instructions on how to do it. All right, you want to do it? Give us a ring, we'll sell you the parts, and now you know how to do it. All right, ranch hands, you're a little bit more valuable to me. I like that. So we'll see you again. Bye-bye.